Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syuaib. In this video, our group will present about CAPP. And for my part, I will elaborate more about introduction for CAPP. What is CAPP? CAPP was introduced by Malaysia Ministry of Health, which is the concept of prevention and education, charity, obey and monitoring. CAPP. CAPP is a new norm culture approach to prevent the spread of COVID-19. CAPP also aims to protect green area free from COVID-19 infection and convert yellow areas to green within 14 days. C. Cegah dan detect or prevent and educate. Educating family or community members on new norm practice in life. Next is A. Amalkan or charity. Practice good behavior to prevent yourself, our family members, and the community from the COVID-19 infection, such as use hand sanitizer, wearing mask, and always washing our hand. Next is P. Patuh or obey. Obey SOP and government instruction. We must follow all the rules and the instruction from the government, such as keep a distance of at least 1 meter from each other and avoid spending time in crowded place in group. Lastly is P. Pantau or monitor. Monitor the health status of ourselves and our family before entering the store or at public place. Get some treatment if symptom and get health screening as soon as possible.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera to Madam Nasira and all my fellow friends. My name is Muhamad Zammir Ibrahim. My student ID is 2019-256 and 446. I am from AM226CA. I'm here to explain about my part, which is the objective of the CAPP. CAPP stands for C. Cegah dan didik, A. Amal, P. for patuh, and another P is pantau. This CAPP was under the district risk reduction program. There are two objectives of the CAPP, which is to maintain the green zone designation area, and the second objective was to change the area designation from yellow to green within 40 days. There are certain indicators in order for we to know our district is yellow, green, or it is red. The indicator is for the green area, it has no zero COVID-19 case. For the yellow area, there are 1 to 40 COVID-19 case, and for the red area or red, there are more than 40 cases. Then the area is considered as red zone area and it is dangerous. This CAPP was made by the government to comply with the WHO requirement, which is to provide health education to community and to control the spread of COVID-19. I think that's all from me. The next slide will be explained by my friends. Thank you.
Salam sejahtera to Madam Nasra and my fellow friends. Okay, my name is Ericko, so I will present for the initiatives of CAPP. Alright, the first initiative is to empower the communities to protect themselves from COVID-19. So this kind of initiative will help the government to decrease the COVID-19 cases, which the communities will always alert of their surroundings or environment. So the government run this policy to make sure the communities to not only depending their safety on the frontliners, but by their own action. So the government involved the leadership parties such as Village Head, Jabatan Sukarelawan Malaysia, or we call it RELA, Jawatan Kuasa Kemajuan dan Keselamatan Kampung JKK, Skim Rondaan Sukarela, Kawasan Rukun Tetangga, and Penghulu. So these parties can help the government by using their influence power to control the community's movement in their area. For example, the community can mobilize the local area to control the movement of suspected cases in their area. It's also to make sure the communities keep alert and controlled by the surrounding areas during the pandemic. Alright, the second initiative is aims to bolster the community responsibility and highlight the public's role as a frontline. So from this initiative, it can help the communities feel more responsible and trustworthy in maintaining their health to reduce the spread of COVID-19 virus among them. So by highlights their role, the community directly become the front lines to defend or protect their families or and their area by limiting their movement to the outside as well as complying with the SOP that have been set by the government. So this action will help the district health office to keep their area in green zone or change the red zone or yellow zone to the green zone. And it also can prevent the epidemic from spreading to the other areas or district. The third initiative is provide the location of health facilities near the residents. So from this initiative, the communities or residents are given health advice and information about the COVID-19 pandemic. So this policy implemented by the district health office, which they invite the village head and penghulu to giving them health advice on how to avoid being infected by the virus. So the villagers know how to protect themselves from being infected by the virus, such as using masks, hand sanitizer, and checking their temperature when they go outside and back to their home. So the villagers or residents are also given a COVID-19 screening test to ensure the communities does not create new clusters in their area. So from this initiative, the clinic or hospital also can figure out a risk group that can spread the virus among the residents. So the epidemic can be controlled from spreading to the other areas. The clinic and hospital also doing some activities such as home visit. Okay, so from these activities, they come to check the healthy of the resident of villages to make sure the villagers don't have any contact with the person who have any COVID-19 symptoms. Alright, the last initiative is implemented among the foreign workers by the charity. So foreign workers are encouraged to attend the COVID-19 screening test by swab test because usually migrants workers have close contact with such patients or victims according to Dato Sri Dr. Abang Baba. So by implementing this initiative, the epidemic also can be controlled by the charity. It is because the charities play an important role in preventing the spread of COVID-19 epidemic among their foreign workers to run their business smoothly in order to contribute national economy. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good evening to Madam Puan Nasira Ahmad and to my fellow friends. Okay, next I will explain the challenge of implement the CAPP program. Okay, the first one is to educate the people. Educating the people to follow and comply with the standard operating procedure, which is the SOP, because during this pandemic, it's very important to educate the people so that to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So what they do is the health authorities have to daily remind the people to follow with the SOP, such as physical distancing, 1 meter at least, wearing face mask, no physical contact, also keep use of hand sanitizer. So for example, like you can see in Datuk Nur Hisham speech every day, he always remind the citizens to follow with the procedure. He keep telling the people, don't forget to do physical distancing, wear mask, and also use hand sanitizer always. Not only that, we also, in educating the people, we also receive a message that sent through our mobile phone, which is through SMS, which is we will get the message every day that telling us to keep follow the SOP every day wherever we go, so that it prevent the spread of COVID-19. Because sometimes people they might forget, or maybe they're careless, so that's why the government authorities always have to remind the people to follow with the. Okay, next, the challenge is to monitor and controlling the people movement, to keep the territories from being infected. Roadblocks have been made across the state and territory borders. This is to keep the green zone from becoming red zone, but there's still some people who still carry out and do the cross-state movement without reasonable purpose, even they're from the red zone district. So for example, we take a look at Negeri Sembilan. So before this, Negeri Sembilan is a red zone area, while in Klang Valley have become the red zone. But due to the cross-state activity from the red zone in Klang Valley, causing the increases of COVID-19 in some areas in Negeri Sembilan, resulting Negeri Sembilan become a red zone. So that is first example, and the second example is a famous case where a nurse who at Klang Valley area returned to her hometown in Kelantan, if I'm not mistaken, and after a few days she is test positive COVID-19. So this make the risk can cause infection to the others and their family, and also may turn the green zone becoming the red zone. So thus the authority have placed roadblocks and as well swab tests in every border for those who do the cross-state activity in order to prevent the case spreading, to prevent the case from spreading to the green zone. Okay, next is challenge is difficult to access the rural areas. In order for the frontliners to reach some of these rural and remote areas, the frontliners need to go through various obstacles and challenge to carry out their task. So for example, in Sempurna, Sabah, where you can see the picture below, there's a health officers need to go through an old bridge and with infrastructure to carry out their task. This make tasks such as educating the people and monitoring or conducting any swab test become challenge every day. There's a case where some people did not give any kerjasama during the swab test, and also there's some people did not want to go to the quarantine center after finding out they are positive COVID-19. So means they are not they not give very much cooperation, so that become hard and challenge to the frontliners carry out their task. So that's the challenge in implementing the CAPP program, which is the Cegah and Didik Amal and Patuh and Pantau. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Syafiq bin Hassan, and I will explain about the comparison with other countries. There are 3 countries that we compare, which is America, Taiwan and Japan. The first country is America. We all know that America has the most number of COVID-19 cases in the world. This is because there are no action that being taken by the American government in order to prevent this pandemic from spreading in their country. They don't do any lockdown in their country and don't close their border. They also don't give funding toward their public health facility. Because of this, there are only a few facilities that can be used in order to fight this pandemic in their country. There is also a related factors that lead to this number of cases, which is black people is the lowest level and white people is upper level. This situation lead to the black people who have a symptom are hardly to receive any treatment to cure them. The second country is Taiwan. Taiwan is the most ready country in order to fight COVID-19. This is because they has experience in fighting a disease which is SARS in 2003. This disease has made Taiwan the most number of cases in the world. Because of this, Taiwan don't want its history to be repeated. In order to prevent it, Taiwan government has taken a major action in order to prevent this virus from spreading in their country. The first action is health check at the airport in order to detect a visitor who has a symptom of COVID-19. The second action is by implementing contact tracing method, which is by using mobile app called NCOVI in order to track people who have a symptom that will be registered when they are doing health check. It like the use of My Sejahtera in Malaysia. The third action is public communication campaign. Vietnam has launched a fundraising campaign in order to buy more medical and protective equipment for their frontliners. This action is succeed because they have received more than 2.1 million donations that come from many sectors. The fourth action is Taiwan has developed their own testing kit to be used on the people who have the symptom in order to know whether they are negative or positive of COVID-19. The third country is Japan. Japan is different from other countries because they are never doing a lockdown, but they can fight COVID-19. The government only asks their people to stay at home and stop any activity outside for a while. This shows that Japanese people has high level of responsibility and discipline. So that's why the government don't need to do a lockdown in their country. The government asks their people to avoid 3CS, which is closed space, crowded space, and close contact setting. And many of their people are doing it because they know if they don't follow the order from the government, it will cause a problem in their country. Japan also different from other countries because they only testing for patients who have the symptom and not a mass testing that being used by other countries. However, this approach of testing sometimes make their people unsatisfied because the other people who don't have the symptom also want to know whether they have the COVID or not. The third action is the Japanese has learned how to live with COVID-19. They decide to make their people to wear a mask and always sanitize in order to stay clean. The action that been taken by these three countries are somehow similar and different from Malaysia in order to fight COVID-19 disease in this country. The similar one is in Japan and Taiwan country because their government are doing their best in order to fight COVID-19, different than America that don't take any action to fight this disease from spreading in their country. That's all I will explain about comparison with other countries, and the next part will be continued with my friend.
For the conclusion, as Malaysian, we must take responsibility and highlight the public's roles as a front line to protect ourselves, family, and the local community from COVID-19 transmission. Let's keep remind to ourselves and to other peoples about the new norm life. Also, let's practice the CAPP concept to prevent the COVID-19 from spread. That's all from us. Thank you.
Sekali lagi dulu guys. Jangan lupa like, comment, and subscribe.